Welcome to North of the Castle podcast. I'm Ruben. I'm joined with Ambrose and Dora here today, and we are doing a deep dive into Magic Kingdom.
The rides.
The rides, that's true. The rides. But we're going to get to talking about some of the other things eventually, right?
Yeah, we talked about like covering all the different parks and different, covering 5 different aspects, right? So like rides, shows or entertainment, characters, overall theming, and food.
Was that all 5?
Yeah, those are the 5 categories. So today we're tackling Magic Kingdom rides.
Exciting. Okay, here's the first question. Have we all ridden all the rides?
No.
No. All right, so
Not at all.
Are we disqualified?
I thought I did, but then...
No. Okay, so...
Are we disqualified from even doing this one?
I don't think so, because I think there's some rides that are similar, so that's okay, and some that are more kiddie rides that we're going to discuss, that they're just like kiddie rides that are good for your, like fillers that are good for your kids. And then there's the newest ride that we have not ridden because it's new, but we're going to ride it in May.
You're talking about the ride that's a new ride, but not really a new ride?
Yeah, it was new last May.
For everyone listening on podcasts, I'm doing parentheses.
No, quotation.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. All right, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing quotations. This is another episode of Teach Ruben stuff, because Ruben doesn't know stuff. Okay, so we made a list of all the rides in Magic Kingdom, as you can see here. We're going to start with Astro Orbiter, Barnstormer, Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Haunted Mansion. Whoa, what's going on there? Haunted Mansion. It's a Small World, Jungle Cruise, Mad Tea Party, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince Charming, Regal Carousel, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Tomorrowland, Speedway, People Mover, Tron, Lightcycle, Under the Sea, Walt Disney World's, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Well, that's a mouthful. And so we're gonna like basically go through these one by one and then kind of give it a rating, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna start with Astro Orbiter. I think what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna be rating each one according to like what we like on a scale of like 1 to 10, and then kind of creating a total so that way each of you listening at home kind of know which ride, you know, you might want to prioritize if you ever make your own trip going to the parks. So I think we'll start with Astro Orbiter.
So Astro Orbiter is a Dumbo style attraction that kind of goes up in the air and it like loops around in a circle. And it's for all, like, there's no height requirement on it. So it's a good family friendly ride. And it's kind of themed to outer space, but that's about it.
Have you ridden it before?
I have not. I've ridden Dumbo style attractions before, but not this one specifically. And from what I've heard, it's probably the least exciting. And from what I can tell, it's the least exciting in my opinion. Like a Dumbo style attraction is already not that exciting because it's just basically like a boring, like circular attraction. If you're an adult, absolutely do not ride this.
Yeah.
But if you're going with kids and you're riding with kids, then personally, if you're going to choose one of the Dumbo style attractions, this would be the least important for me because I think it's not as good as the other 2 that are in this park that are themed a bit better.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can
I heard that it's like a really good view at night though, because everything's lit up, all the little like rocket ships and stuff. I heard that the view.
Yeah.
I believe that.
But you get that view kind of everywhere though. Like if you ride Dumbo or if you ride Magic Carpets of Aladdin, like you're still getting that nice lit up view. So yes, it is.
It is the tallest point of Tomorrowland, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me personally, what would I rate this one? I personally would rate it a 2. Let's say 2. I think we could possibly get worse, but we can definitely get much better from here.
Okie dokie. What about you?
I have also not been on this ride because I think last time we talked about it after our last podcast, apparently I haven't gone on a majority of Magic Kingdom rides.
Like half.
Where I
like
thought
half.
I did. Like half. Yeah, you're right. So I would give it a like just because like it's really high up there. Anyone who is maybe scared of heights would not really want to go on it because you have to take an elevator to go up to the ride first. So I would give it a 3. It's a good old 3.
3. Okay.
What about you, Ruben?
I think I would do a 1 because what is this?
Ooh.
What is this ride, guys? No, y'all can be nice. I'm not gonna be nice. I'm gonna give you a straight
It is getting
answer.
refurbished though.
See,
Yeah.
So my 1's right.
So it is closed. It is closed for refurbishment right now, and it's an extended closure. But like we don't really know what is happening. Is it just getting rethemed and redone, or is it just getting like some tech upgrades to make it a little bit smoother? But it's the same ride.
Yeah, I actually saw. I saw someone who was in the parks recently, and they were like, "I first walked through this space, and I didn't notice, and then all of a sudden I looked up, and it's missing."
Yeah, all of the vehicles have been taken down.
Yeah, because it's like up in the air and you can see it typically, but it's like, kind of throws you off. But anyhow, okay, so we got our total. Got a total of 6
out of a potential 30.
That's terrible.
Okay.
That's a failing grade, is what that is.
Barnstormer. So Barnstormer is, your kid's first coaster ride. It's themed to like Goofy and Pete, and they're like, they kind of crash a barn, and it's 35. It has a 35-inch height requirement, and we have been on this one. Ambrose, have you ridden this one? Yeah, you have.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was one of my first rides.
Okay. I'm guessing this was one of the ones that Viv really liked. Yeah.
She enjoyed this. I enjoyed it greatly.
Yeah. It's a
great ride.
It is a cute ride. It's very short. That's one of the only aspects of it, because it kind of does like a quick loop. But it is a fun like kiddie coaster. We definitely enjoyed it. We got to actually take like all of our kids on it, because even Lucas was big enough to ride it, so it was kind of like their first coaster, and yeah, it was fun. I liked it. What did you think?
Yeah, I actually thought this one was a bit more surprisingly fun than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So for me, this actually gained some points because it seemed like underwhelming. And then I rode it, and I was just like, "Hey, that was a little fun little kiddie coaster there. I'll take that for someone who's like not super in love with coasters." So yeah, for me, I would actually rate that one a 5. That's what I'm giving that one, because I was quite.
We're going
impressed.
out of 10, right?
Yes.
Out of 10. Out of 10.
Ambrose, what about you?
Well, I really enjoyed the theming of the ride, because it comes with those little like targets everywhere, right? You on the queue, you have the targets. You also have fans. You also have umbrellas. Everything there, and then I think it's a great ride, and it's actually the same speed as Space Mountain.
That's crazy. Is that actually facts? What? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's actually the same speed.
Space
It's just
Mountain's
that,
not that fast. Space Mountain just feels faster because it's dark.
Because it's dark, and then if it's a quick turns, it's the same speed. So I give it a 7 because I actually really enjoyed it, and I think it's a great ride.
Wow, that is a high
I feel like I'm gonna give the most
score.
points.
Yeah,
All
you're.
right, I'll give it a 6. Okay, a 6.
That
okay.
is, yeah.
All right.
He's like so generous. He's gonna get
I mean,
to.
you stick with it. It was 7 to 7. You want to go 6
No,
or
I'll
7?
give it a 6. 7's a bit high.
Okay.
No. I'll do 6 because 7's a bit high. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That's right.
I guess I'm gonna be a critic. I'm gonna call this a 4 because, in my opinion, I think it was just too short. If it was a bit longer, then I would have given it a higher score, especially because it does get slightly higher wait times. Like, we didn't get a lightning lane for this one because we had other things that we prioritized getting lightning lanes for. And we ended up waiting like half an hour for it. And I'm like, I don't know that it was worth half an hour when it was done in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I would give it a 4.
It's fair.
Next up, Big Thunder Mountain.
This one is a well-liked one.
Yeah, so Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is kind of like an old Western, like frontier themed railroad.
Also under refurbishment right now. So.
Yes, it is closed for an extended refurbishment, which they are doing a little bit of retheming. We don't know, again, how extensive it is, but there is some retheming being done. And it has a 40-inch height requirement. So
what does extended refurbishment mean?
Because there can be refurbishments that are
Closed
like
for
a couple
extended
weeks.
period of time.
Oh, thanks, Ambrose. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's helpful. Now I know.
I got you.
No, so there can be refurbishments that happen like over a couple of weeks. I think when Peter Pan rethemed, they did it over like a period of a month. So those are shorter refurb times, whereas like it's been closed already and it's not reopening again until 2026. So it's like over a year that it's being closed. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah. So Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, what do you guys think of this one?
The silence is crazy. Everybody needs to think.
Okay,
I'm
have
gonna
you
go.
ridden it, Ambrose?
It's a 7 for me.
It's
Yes,
a
of
7
course.
for you.
It's a 7 for me.
Okay.
It's good. It's fun. It's thrilling. I like the theming, and I think something Cars themed would go really well here from seeing stuff from Disneyland. So for me, it's a 7.
Okay. What do you think, Ambrose?
I think it was 7.5 because I think it's one of the first like fast rides I rode at Disney, right? And it was really funny because this is the run that Viv felt like she was almost gonna die because I'm much taller than her, and the bar was on my knee, and then there was like this much of a gap between her. So she's like, "Oh my goodness!" And then so now I know that I'm supposed to sit and cross my legs so then it goes lower so that Viv doesn't feel like she can fall out.
That's a hack. Yo, you can't say that lightly, guys. This is a hack.
Yeah,
If
for when you're riding with your kids,
if you're
too.
riding with your kids, or you're really taller than your spouse or your partner or whatever, cross your legs and the bar goes down. That's a hack.
Yeah.
Come on. A hacks with Ambrose. Let's go. All right. So you said 7.5.
Yeah, he said 7.5.
7.5.
All right.
Great ride, great theming, a lot of history in the ride as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give it a 6. Again, I think I'm the most critical here because I like this ride. It's fun. It is fast. You do get a really great view of the castle when you're up at the top, especially at night. But I don't love the theming. I think the theming is boring. It doesn't have any IP attached to it. It's not appealing to me. I know that there's a lot historically, like with the history of the theme parks in Walt Disney and like how there is a Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at every single like Disney park, and I think that's really cool and really awesome. I personally just don't love this ride. So 6 it is.
6 it is. So here we had 11 plus 4, so we got 15 as the total. And then here we got 14 plus 20.5. 20.5.
That is some quick math.
Cool. What's next?
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Come on, fan favorite, guys. Fan favorite.
I love this ride.
Yeah. And honestly, it's all about the theming. Because if you took away the theming from this ride, it's a very boring ride. But like you add the theming, like you are a space ranger traveling to shoot the bad guys, and you see all of your favorite characters and little aliens.
You are trying to stop Zurg from stealing all the batteries.
Zurg!
Because Zurg doesn't realize that he can buy batteries easily. They're easily accessible. The theming is great.
It's what makes this ride, for sure.
I mean, I think just generally, like with a shooter style ride where you're shooting. Yes, this is a shooter style ride, and it doesn't have any height requirement, and it is like a slow moving ride, and it is a dark ride. As a shooter style ride, I think it's just shooter style rides are more fun because you have so much like variety in what your game looks like because. It's all about trying to like compete and up your score, and you can shoot at different targets and see different things happen when you do shoot at different targets. So I personally love this. I think it is one of the older shooter style rides, so it could like it's not as high, for example, as like Toy Story Mania or like the Web Slingers at DCA, but I do still really enjoy this one. I have a lot of like nostalgia attached to it from growing up riding it and like always competing against my dad, who always won because he was great at these kinds of games. And we would go rope drop this, and then because nobody else was rope dropping it, we would get to ride it like 3 or 4 times in a row.
A couple times, right?
Yeah, which is a lot of fun. So I personally love this ride. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
7.5. Nice.
Cool. And this ride is also going to be closing for refurbishment later this year, where they're going to be upgrading like the guns, like the shooter guns, and just upgrading some of like the targets and things like that, which is going to be really cool.
Cool. What else?
What do you think, Ambrose?
I enjoy this ride greatly. I maxed out the score. I was looking for a photo earlier, but I couldn't find it. I maxed out the score, but not like legit maxed out because the ride broke down and I was shooting nonstop. I think it's a great ride. Like you said, it's a bit older. Without the theming, without the Buzz Lightyear, without all the like Zurg and all that stuff, it's like sad to say it's kind of similar to like the ones at Niagara Fall or other fairs that you have. Those ones, so. Also, I realized that if the other person in your car does not want you to score, they can just keep moving the thing, moving the ride. That's what Viv did. She did not stop me, so I get dizzy. But I think
it's funny.
So I would give this like a 6.5.
Okay, 6.5.
Maybe a 7 at most, but 6.5. Yeah, 6.5.
So the last time we
it's a
rode,
great ride, but
no, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying the last time we rode this ride, Mila was a little bit scared of like the dark as we were entering. So I was riding with her and I was like, here, Mila, you can control the vehicle. So she just like held it in one direction and just kept spinning like repeatedly. And so it was really hard to shoot anything, but it was still a lot of fun. I think she had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. I think for me, I think I'll just kind of split the difference because I was feeling it as a 7.
Okay.
So we got 13, 14, 21.
Okay. Things are looking up, guys. Each ride is getting a little higher.
A little higher. And honestly, I'm taking a peek at the totals here, and I would say this is accurate so far.
Okay.
Like how I feel generally, but anyhow, let's keep going.
We have no haters right now. None of us are saying that ride's the worst. What? Even though it's a good ride.
Yeah.
It's good. We're realistic. I like that.
Nice.
Dumbo the Flying Elephant. This is another Dumbo style attraction. It's literally what they were called after. And so it looks like you are riding Dumbo and his ears are out and you are flying up in the air. They have 2 of them now, like side by side, that go up, and they have also in the queue like a playground area for your kids to play, and you get a little buzzer. When it's your turn, you get called up. There's no height requirement. And for all of those reasons listed, I would give this one a 3.5 because I think it is better than Astro Orbiter because the theming is better and you also have the cool playground aspect.
Okay.
I was thinking that you're going to give it a higher mark. You hyped it up so much. You're like, yeah, it's really good at 3.5. Okay.
No, like, it's a Dumbo style attraction. At the end of the day, it's not my favorite, but like, I would say that it does get better than Astro Orbiter.
Does it get an extra point because it has coined the phrase Dumbo style attraction?
I mean, I gave it a 1.5 higher.
Okay, 3.5 for you. Ambrose, what are you thinking?
I think that the queues are really nice and everything. The ride itself is not the greatest because, like you said, it's just an up and down ride. And then, once again, you can control it, right, as well? I believe.
I don't think
Or is that
so. No.
Is that
There might be the
carpets?
The carpet. It might be the carpet, yeah. But, okay. For this one, I would give it like a 4. Because I just think that the theming itself, it makes up a lot of the theming, and then the queue makes up a lot. The ride's not bad. The seats are good and everything, but I think just 4. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are very generous. That gets a 1.
Dumbo gets a 1? Oh.
Okay, it gets a 100%. For me, yeah, definitely getting 1. All right, so we at 8.5
Oh,
here.
boy.
Okay, I mean, it's higher than Astro Orbiter, which is all I wanted. Okay.
The next one is going to be controversial for you guys.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
So we haven't ridden this one, if we're honest.
Because we don't do haunted stuff. Because, life's scary. Why be scared more? So Ambrose, what are your professional opinions?
I've ridden this ride 3 times. I think I've done the one in Magic Kingdom once. Actually, no, only twice. That means twice. Then. I've done Magic Kingdom once, and I've done the Christmas themed one in Nightmare Before Christmas in Disneyland. Okay.
Nice.
So I like this ride. I think there's a lot of theming, a lot of history. So I would give it because of history, and then also if you watch the Imagineer story, you know exactly how it's made. So that's why I'm I don't really do scary haunted stuff as much, but then because it's a lot of history and so I would say I give it a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
History, even though in Magic Kingdom it's a bit dark. That ride's a bit dark in Magic Kingdom compared to Disneyland, so it's you can't see stuff that sometimes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Maybe if we go, maybe Ruben might join me.
Maybe Ruben might join you.
I would just to see it.
Yeah. So I know that I personally would not enjoy this ride. And so if I was rating it on what is my personal enjoyment level, I would put it at a 0. But because I'm not going to rate it at that, I know that it's not fair to rate it that way, considering it is a classic ride. It is one of the most popular rides. It is a ride that people absolutely love and must do. I will give it, and I know again a lot of that history and the Imagineering and the ways that they did all the effects, I will give it a 4.
Okay.
Because I still think it's more of a must do than Dumbo or Astro Orbiter. So 4 it is.
So the way I'm interpreting this list is that these are our biased opinions.
Okay.
And so for me, I think it's fully fair for me to give my biased opinion on rides like these, where just rides that have crazy drops that I have no enjoyment for, these are not my unbiased, ratings. Maybe that's a different video if you guys want it, put it in the comments. But these are my biased ratings, and personally, I have no enjoyment in something like the Haunted Mansion, and so I am actually going to give it a 0. Out of all the rides, I'm going to give you a 0, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. And you'll have to take it with a grain of salt.
Dora, do you want to change your answer?
No, I'm going to leave it at a 4. I think I would still be more likely to, if my kids were not around and I was going out just with adults, so I'm doing it based on enjoyment, I think I'd be more likely to make a choice to ride this than to ride Dumbo or Astro Orbiter. So I'm going to leave it where it's at.
Cool.
Okay.
It's a small world.
No. It's a small world after all.
Ugh.
Now it's going to be stuck in your head for days.
It's a small world. Oh, gosh.
So,
okay, go ahead.
For those who don't know, Ruben's not really a big fan of this ride.
Can we give minus points is my question here, because we didn't talk about that.
Okay, wait. So this ride is...
0 is the lowest.
This ride is a classic, Disney boat ride. It goes through... it is actually quite a long ride. It has no height requirement. And it goes through... not really countries as much as different areas, and each area has different cultural representation, different animals, different music, different the dolls are wearing different costumes, and then it kind of all culminates in this beautiful scene at the very end where everybody's dressed in all white, and it shows how we are all part of this small world. And it is one of the iconic Disney rides, and personally, as much as I understand why some people don't love it, that the fact that it's so iconic and so nostalgic gives it some points in my book.
What are those points?
I think I would give it a 5. I would choose to ride this.
That's actually lower than what I thought you were going to give it. Wow. Okay.
So I do have a lot of nostalgia towards it because this was my mom's favorite ride growing up, and we used to ride it all the time. I mean, it's still her favorite ride, but we haven't gone together in a long time. So we used to ride it. We had to ride it at least once every time we went to Magic Kingdom, which like she loved the AC, she loved the song, she loved the cute little dolls, she loved the fact that it's a long ride where you get to sit and just rest and not have to walk around. So I think there's a lot of reasons why she enjoyed it, and I think it is a great break in the AC, like if you want that. But I think I do like the idea behind the theming. And it is kind of cool to see the different cultures. And it was cool to point that out to my kids and be like, look, there's Egypt and there's India. And like, as we were leaving, be like, look, it says Assalamu alaikum and it says like Namaste. And these are our languages that we speak, which I think was cool. And I enjoyed that aspect of it.
It's cool. What about you, Ambrose?
I think it's a great ride. I've been onto both of them in Disney World and in Disneyland. I think both time I've been on it, the ride has broken down. So I've sat in it and the song goes on and on. I did do the Christmas. I did do the Christmas one in Disneyland. So I think personally, the Christmas one is better. I think there's a little bit of a retheming, unless I'm incorrect.
No, they do.
However, I feel that the ride itself, I feel that the ride is not that great because it's like you can only listen to the song so much and look through the stuff so many times where certain things blend together. Yeah. It's cool that like there are certain characters in the Disney movies in the parks, in the ride. Like you might see Lilo or someone that look kind of like Lilo. You might see some of the things and stuff.
But that's just at the Disneyland location.
So there's none at the Disney World.
No, they don't have any of the characters in it, which I was gonna say like I think that would be better.
Yeah, so that's why I'm giving it lower than I originally would have, right? Like I want to go to the one in Tokyo Disneyland where they have Groot. It's themed with Groot.
Oh, yeah, you showed me that. You're the one that showed me that, right?
Groot is everywhere in every single. Yeah, I showed you. Yeah.
It's like hitting Groot instead of hitting
So I would
Mickey's.
give it.
Yeah, what would you give it?
No, like he's like put in everywhere. So no Groots, ride breaks, song goes on and on. After a while, you kind of get tired of it. So I would give it a 5 as well.
Okay. No Groot ride breaks.
Okay.
What is your rating? It's gonna be brutal.
We'll give this ride a 1. And there's only and the only reason it's even getting a 1 is because you guys told me that I can't give it negative points. But also because
give it 0.
No, I'll give it 1 for one reason only. The water with the AC, go ahead. The water with the AC does make it it's a break.
Yeah,
it's a break. And here's the thing: when a ride has to be a break, in my opinion, that's a waste of a ride. So like, okay, great, this is a break. I would rather, and we'll probably get to it. Are we going to get to it? I know we're not going to get to it today. I would rather go to the laugh floor and take that break because I'm laughing during that break. Versus during this break, I'm being annoyed by a song that I don't like. It's a small world after. Bro, I'm sorry. It's my personal gripe. This is my personal list. My personal scoring is going to get a 1. Be thankful it's not getting like a minus 10 to undo your 5s. But anyhow, that's just me. We got a total of 11 here.
Okay. Anyways, let's go on to a ride that I don't think anyone hates.
Jungle Cruise!
Yeah, so Jungle Cruise. It is also a boat ride with no height requirement, and you are going through a like jungle safari, and your skipper is giving you a tour, and you get to... It's usually really funny, and they make a lot of like puns and dad jokes, which I love personally. And you get to see all the animatronics, and... yeah, that's pretty much it. So this usually gets a pretty long line, which is, one of the reasons why some people don't love it so much. But I think overall as a ride, it's a very enjoyable ride.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we thinking here? For me, Jungle Cruise, I think, would be a 6. I actually do enjoy the puns, and I think the one thing that kind of stands out to me with this ride is that it's one of the first rides in Disneyland that Walt actually got to be a part of, and then they kind of used that same kind of framework for the Disney World one. And so I think it's just cool thinking about the way this all originated, and then like Loki, the entertainment factor is all in the what do they call him, the captain or
the skipper?
The skipper, yeah.
Yeah.
Skipper.
Yeah. So for me, it's a 6.
And I do like that the skippers tell different jokes every time, so you kind of get a different experience each time. I also like that it morphed that way because the skippers were just starting to tell jokes. Like, it didn't start off as a funny ride. It started off very serious, but the skippers were making jokes, and then Walt liked it, so he was like, "Oh, we'll keep that going then." It was also like a, precursor to the like Animal Kingdom and everything that Animal Kingdom is, and the jungle, the safari there. So I really like this ride. I would give it a 7.
7. Okay, cool. What about you, Ambrose? What about you, Ambrose?
Oh no! I think it lagged for a second. Sorry, that's my bad. On my end. I think you can cut back a little bit of stuff because I was like listening and it stopped, and suddenly I see you guys go, and then what about you, Ambrose?
What would you rate Jungle Cruise?
For Jungle Cruise, I think it's a good ride, but I agree with what you guys have said. It's basically the skipper makes the ride, because without the skipper, it's kind of like an. I'll be honest, the animatronics are a little bit old and a little bit dated, right? So I think I would give it a 6 as well. Yeah, great ride. They tried to make a movie out of it, didn't go well.
I liked the movie.
Could be, compared to like Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, right? Not compared, but it was still good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I would give it a 6 as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next, let's move this along because we're on a time limit here.
Okay, Matt Tea Party. So
that was pretty good. That was 3 minutes. That was exactly 3 minutes.
Matt Tea Party. This is a spinning ride, like spinning teacups, and it's no height requirement, and it's themed to like Alice in Wonderland, and so it's like the Mad Hatter and the March Hare's like tea party and the Cheshire Cat. Yeah, I think you can see. I would say a 5.
Okay.
It's a classic ride for me. I think it's fun to do with your kids. I personally don't mind spinning motion, so I enjoy it. But it's not like a must do, and I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
For me, it's a 1, only because I get so nauseous on spinning rides, and I don't like them at all. And so this is like I will pass this every single day of the week. Ambrose?
I think for me, it would be a 3, because the theme is great. Alice in Wonderland, not one of my favorite movies, but not bad. I think my only idea is that there's not really anything special to the ride. You can find it any fair that you go to, or any like theme park. It's just like teacups, apples, bumblebees. I don't know. There's been so many of these rides, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'd give it a 3. And also for me as well, spinning rides are not the especially because you can control the speed as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have bad experience back then when I was younger in these kind of rides where someone spun it like crazy and I got really dizzy. So I would give it a 3.
Okay.
It's based off theming alone. Okay. I don't like the rides.
Okay.
Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Arabian Night.
So this is another Dumbo style attraction, but themed to Aladdin, obviously, and you get to see the little camels and the magic carpets. I would give this one a 2.5 because it's higher than Astro Orbiter because it's Aladdin themed and I like Aladdin, but lower than Dumbo because it's not the classic and it doesn't have the playground.
It gets a 1 for me because it's the same ride, different theming. Like, who cares? That's me.
What about you, Ambrose?
I would give it a 3. Theming, also Aladdin, also memories of my wife constantly moving up and down like crazy. So I think nostalgia there.
Okay, nice.
My kids know I felt sick afterwards. I'm like, "What are you doing? Stop!" And she was like, "What?" And then I found out later, yeah, it's just she was just having fun.
Cool. Many Adventures of Winnie. Our kids love this ride.
Yeah, I mean, I love this ride. So this is classic dark ride, omni-mover attraction. You're riding a honey pot, and you get to see Winnie the Pooh and the gang.
Were you guys like fans of Winnie the Pooh growing up as kids?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really that much, a little bit, not
I wasn't
crazy,
either.
but I really enjoy this ride.
Yeah. I really liked Winnie the Pooh growing up. And like my brother, who was 2 years younger, really enjoyed it. So we watched it a lot. It was one of his favorites.
Low-key a little bit scary. I find the ride just a little bit scary, on the edge.
Like the heffalumps and stuff. Like,
Yeah, because he goes into like some sort of dream or whatever, right? In the ride.
yeah, he has a nightmare.
Oh, nightmare. Okay.
Yeah, he has a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
exactly.
this ride is a 6.5. It's a really good ride. It's one that I must do whenever I go to Disney World.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5 too.
I'll give it a 7. I think because of the theming, the queue, all the stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Even though I realize you probably need hand sand after the amount of time people play on those stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think this. And then just the ride itself. I think my wife Viv loves this ride. I think we realized that it's faster than the one in Disneyland, but that might have to do with like the amount of people. They speed up the ride a little bit. But great ride. Great ride.
Yeah.
The only one I'm missing is now it's the one in Disneyland.
I'm actually gonna
Tokyo Disneyland. That's the one I'm missing.
I'm actually gonna change mine to 7 because what you just said is so true. Like their queue is one of the best queues.
Yeah.
For kids especially, so it bumps up to 7 for me. Like, and then yeah.
Yeah, they do have kind of like these little areas that they can stop and play.
Yeah.
So
gophers, stuff, and rabbits.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, Peter Pan's Flight, another Omnimover dark attraction, classic Disney ride. It was, I think, almost an opening day attraction, or maybe opening day. I like this ride. I don't love this ride, but because of the nostalgia surrounding it, it is a must-do for me. So it's one of those rides that, like, I personally enjoy Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh more, but, like, if I had to list off rides that I'm like, I have to do this ride, this is one of them. I have to ride Peter Pan's Flight. They did also just retheme one section, and I'm excited to see that. So we will be riding it come May. I know you're so excited, Ruben.
So what are you rating it?
I'm gonna rate it a 6.5. 6. Let's make it a 6. I like
so Winnie's still better for you. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Ambrose?
I've never been on this ride, either lands, because the lines are crazy.
Yes.
I think it's like, I think it's at one time I felt like it was more than like other rides. So we're like, we're gonna go try other rides. We did end up going back to it. I've watched a lot of videos. It seems like a great time. It seems like a lot of nostalgia. I really like the design and like everything. So I would give it a 6 as well.
6. Okay.
Which, yeah. Maybe a 6 is fine.
Okay. I personally think this ride is so overrated. I think this is one of the most overrated rides in the park, and it's because it's tying back to the way rides were created almost 30 years ago, which I understand 30 years ago, fantastic. But I wasn't there 30 years ago. I'm here today. Technology is advanced, and I understand there's some level of like nostalgia that people do want to keep. I know you guys are hating this, but I'm gonna be real. Personally speaking, I'm like, I do like the theming. I do like them, trying with the animatronics, and I actually like Peter Pan. I like that story. I think it's due for a major overhaul and like an upgrade if they ever don't change the theme. I would say just upgrade or ride. Personally, that ride for me, I mean, I'm stretching here, but I'll give it a 4. It's not like it's a must ride for anyone who's never been to Disney World. In my opinion, it's not a must ride every single time. Personally speaking, especially because the lines are crazy. We're talking about like hour to hour and a half minimum ride wait times for a really short ride where you're sitting in a boat and you go really slow and you're just seeing scenes. Like personally, for me, like you can get better. Just walk a little bit further down. You're going to be in Tiana's Bayou, and that is. Anyhow, we're gonna get to that, but yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Is there a lightning lane for that? No, right?
There is a lightning lane. But it's really hard to get, and it's also like 90-minute waits sometimes, so it can be really tricky to maneuver.
Okay.
So Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh,
this is a good one.
Yes.
This is a really good one. It's a dark boat ride, slow moving boat ride. it was actually one of the few rides, again, that they created a movie based on the ride. And I think the movies are great.
One of the few successful ones.
Yeah, the movies are great. And they incorporated like some of those scenes into the movies, but then they incorporated some of the characters like Jack Sparrow back into the ride. It's a very cool ride, the way that it plays off of the movies.
Yeah. I love this ride. They have explosions. They have smoke going off. There's no real like thrill factor. Except
Well, there's some small drops. There's there's a small drop at the beginning. There's a few small drops where you kind of get like splashed and you get a little bit of like a wow factor.
Yeah, personally speaking, I wouldn't put it in the category of thrilly by any means. But the one thing is nice is that it's a fun one, and the whole family can go on it, and it's a cool like in terms of like temperature, it's a cool queue. So you're waiting indoors, and there's AC, so you're not like steaming in the Florida heat. So for me, this one is an 8.
Okay.
This one's an easy 8. I must ride this whenever I go to Magic Kingdom, 100%.
Yeah. I think I'll give it an 8 as well. What are you laughing at over there?
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I love the movies, okay? The ride's great.
But
I don't know. I wouldn't give it an 8 though. I feel like it's a great ride. I didn't like it as much as some other rides. But I would give it like a 7.5. Less. I'm just thinking like
it's close enough. You made it seem like it was like ride, 3, bro.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you like it better than Winnie the Pooh. You like it better than Peter Pan. I think that's fair.
But it should be much higher. But I just feel like you kind of, because you're kind of going through it. I want to experience the other ones sometime. Maybe like the one in China apparently has huge battle and everything, but more screens. So that's what I heard.
Okay.
I'm
open to that.
So I'd give it a 7 or 7.5. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
I enjoy it. Not the biggest fan. Not like, oh, it's the best ride ever, but it's like not bad. It's better than Jungle Cruise.
It's fair.
That's fair. Yeah. So Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. This is a carousel. There's nothing more to say about it. No height requirement. It's not specially themed in any way. It's just that because Prince Charming probably had horses, there are horses. And for that reason, I actually, like, when I gave Astro Orbiter a 2, I had this ride in mind because I'm like, this is going to be my 1. Like, Prince Charming Regal Carousel gets a 1 from me because the theming is literally, it's just a carousel. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. And we ride it every single time we go because my daughter's obsessed with carousels and she wants us to go on the carousel every single time. It was one of her first words as a kid because she was like, let's go on the carousel. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Mila, you're speaking? What did you say? Carousel?
She said a whole sentence. She was just like, I want to ride the carousel.
Yeah, it gets a 1 from me as well. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
What about you, Ambrose?
For me, I think it's one of the rides where like me and Viv fully skipped in order to try to cram everything else in.
Yeah.
Right. So I would give it like a 2 because carousels are great, but I think it's like you said, the only thing that is connected is like, oh, it probably had horses or like castle like
Yeah.
That's the only reason why it's there.
Okay. Yeah. Seven Dwarves Mine Train. This one's a new one.
Newer, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mini roller coaster, like a kiddie coaster?
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhere between a kiddie coaster. Like, it's better, like a higher height requirement, and it's longer and a little bit more thrilling than Barnstormer, but not quite at the level of, like Big Thunder Mountain. It has a 38-inch height requirement, and it's themed to, like, the Seven Dwarfs specifically in Snow White, where you're kind of in their mines or diamond mines, and you're seeing the gemstones, and you do get to pass and stop by, like they slow down by the cottage, and you see Snow White and the dwarfs dancing inside, and you see the evil queen as like the old hag, like knocking on the door.
Yeah. For me, this one's thrilling, especially being like dad riding it with my kiddos and being someone who doesn't love the super crazy roller coasters. This is like the sweet spot for me where I enjoy it. And it has a great story with the princess and with the dwarves. So for me, this is an 8.5. I love this ride. It is a must-do whenever I go to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I think I would give it an 8. I like it a lot, but it does get really, really long lines, or you have to pay for the individual lightning lane, which is like that adds up. And so if I don't have to pay for that lightning lane and like I'm gonna rope drop in and get in quickly, then like I'll ride it, but I'm not going out of my way to go line up for it. Although the queue is pretty cool because it does have like these like spinning gemstones and things like that you can interact with. So it isn't like the most boring line. I just don't want to spend my time waiting in a line because it usually gets up to like 100, 120 minutes.
Yeah. What about you, Ambrose?
I've never been on it.
Oh.
I think it's one of the ones I haven't been on.
Yeah.
I know, right? I thought I did, but I look back and I'm like, no, I've never been on this. I think I look back now and I think when I went to Magic Kingdom, I think I really did a horrible job of like trying to get all the rides and all the stuff and everything. I didn't do enough research because it was like a very last minute thing for our honeymoon. So next time we go, for sure, it's gonna be amazing, magical. Yeah. So yeah, let's give this Ruben. What number should I give it? I'll give it like a 7. Sure. I've never been on it, but from what I've seen, it looks like a great ride and everything as well.
Yeah.
7? Is that what you want to give it? Is that what you said?
Go higher.
No. I didn't hear what you said.
Yes, I said 7. I said 7.
Okay.
I said 7.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like just based on what you've seen, because there's obviously rides that you may not have done, and that we may not have done, but like we've never done Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which we're gonna get to soon, and like we're gonna rate it on what we've seen, right?
Yeah.
So,
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. This is a good one.
Indoor, like dark roller coaster?
Yeah, it's a dark roller coaster, 44-inch height requirement, so it is a bit more thrilling.
Yeah.
But like Ambrose said, it's actually like not very fast. It's like 25 miles per hour or something that it's going, and it just feels faster because it's dark and it does these like sharp turns.
I also enjoy this one. I guess because it's in the dark, it makes me feel a little bit more nauseated, but honestly, I can push through. For this one, for me, it's kind of on the same wavelength as Big Thunder Mountain, so 7 it goes.
Okay. I think I would give this one like an 8.5. I do really like it. It used to be one of my favorites when I was younger because it was more thrilling. I think I have a little bit more nostalgia towards it for that reason too, but at the same time I'm a little bit more scared now because I ride it with my daughter and I'm scared that she's gonna fly out because that's how moms think. So the last time we rode it, I was very uncomfortable because you have to sit like in front of each other, you don't sit beside each other. When she was sitting in front of me, and I spent the entire time, I leaned forward and I held her arm. I was gripping her arm. I had like a death grip on her. And when we got off, she was like, ow, my arm hurts. And I'm like, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was just scared she was going to fly out. But so I think I would give it higher if not for the fact that like I was uncomfortable the last time I rode it. So I didn't enjoy it as much. So.
Yeah.
What about you, Ambrose? You've ridden this one.
I have ridden. No, I enjoyed it. I think it was a really good ride. I wish it's not just all dark at times, right? So I would give it a 7 as well. Yeah.
Nice.
I think like during Christmas when they have like the Christmas overlay, because they have like the green and red lights, you can kind of see parts of the track a little bit more. But I think that also makes it less scary because you know where you're going. Like that's part of the thrill is that you have no idea where you're going and then you're just like, wow, I ended up here.
Yeah. So a ride that we haven't ridden.
Did you go on the Space Mountain?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Dora, did you go on the Space Mountain in Paris? Because they have a special one, I remember.
I don't remember. I was so young when we went. I don't remember.
True. Yeah. But at least you had a chance to go. Unlike me and Ruben, a school trip. Crazy.
No, we didn't go to Paris on a school trip. We went with my family.
Okay. You're right.
So Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's one that we've not technically ridden because it just came out. We haven't had a chance to go yet.
Yeah, in the app it still says new.
We've all gone on Splash Mountain, right?
No, I have not been.
I
We've all
have
gone on
been.
Splash.
I've been, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how would you guys rate it?
So Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a like thrill ride, but it's also like a dark ride, and it has like the animatronics and the theming of Tiana's Bayou, Tiana Princess and the Frog. and it has a 40-inch height requirement because of the big drops that happen in the ride.
Spoiler.
No, it says it right there on the app. It says big drops.
I know, I'm kidding.
I personally, I liked Splash Mountain. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a must-do for me back in the day when they had it. The only thing I don't love about it is, the feeling afterwards when you're soaked and you're walking around and you're like, oh, my underwear is soaking wet. And, my socks are soaking wet. So that's the only thing I didn't like about it, but I actually enjoyed the ride. And so I'm excited because I think I'm going to love it now with the new theming, because the Splash Mountain theming wasn't super exciting to me.
Right.
So based on all I've seen and the POV videos and things like that, I'm going to give this one a 9.
What? Wow.
I think this one has the potential to be my favorite or one of my top 3 at least in Magic Kingdom.
Wow. So going off of everything that I have seen, I'm going to give it a 7 because personally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of wanting to get wet with kids in the park. But I do think because of the theming, that it's going to be good. So yeah. Ambrose?
I think for me, I enjoyed Splash Mountain. I just think that because someone who used to be really scared of birds, those birds at the end where they're all singing and dancing, terrifying. Too big. I think the ride itself, because I was looking at the animatronics originally, I was like, oh, it's so cool, seeing the videos and stuff. And then I saw some of Universal's animatronics. I was like, they kind of doesn't look, but it looks great. It looks great still. So I think for me it would be a 6.5. And I personally I didn't enjoy the Princess and the Frog as much as maybe I should have. Maybe I'll rewatch it again. But I think I give it a 6.5.
I think that's fair. And I personally love The Princess and the Frog. So that's why it's so high for me. I like that movie and I like that theming. So I would enjoy that.
Cool. Tomorrowland Speedway.
I'm going to say right now, this one is going to be a 1 for me.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the most boring rides in the entire park. It has a 32-inch height requirement, and you just ride pretend cars around a pretend track that has no theming, no purpose. It's supposed to be futuristic, but it's old and not futuristic at all. It's dated, and you don't go that fast, and so I don't know why it's called a speedway.
It's like a car that's going the speed limit.
Yeah, so this is the worst type of ride for me, so 1.
Yeah, I echo everything you said. It's a 0 for me because if I want to drive, I'll just drive.
Oh yeah, I'm not riding it.
Why am I doing this in the thing? I think if they change it to Cars themed though, imagine Cars themed. Why not?
That would just bump it up a little bit because the ride itself is still not fun.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they need to change something about the ride, but that's that is what it is.
Mila asked us if we could ride it, and I was like, "Oh, we'll see what if we have time later." And I had no intention of seeing. I was just like, "Let's go."
The best parent excuse. Oh, maybe we'll see. We have to do this first, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, I would say I'd give it a 2 because the idea that you can kind of drive things is pretty cool. It's like the equivalent of Autotopia in Disneyland, right?
Okay, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Should be right. But yeah, you just basically drive and you're on a track, and then if you mess up, you kind of get whiplash a little bit.
Yeah, you bump a little bit. Thing. Yeah.
So I would give it a 2 because firstly, it's really old. The whole place smells like gas from the cars, and if it breaks down, you just sit there. I experienced this in Disneyland. I know it's not the same, but it's pretty much the same. You get stuck behind a car, and you're just inhaling exhaust the whole time. So they need to change it. So I'd give it a 2.
It's so funny. They have this. You're inhaling gas in one area of the park. You swap over to Epcot and it's all magnets. It's like the discrepancy is insane. You're running on magnets in one park. You're running on gas in the other. Okay, People Mover.
Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. There is no height requirement for this, and it is just a slow moving ride up in the air above Tomorrowland, and you get to kind of see inside some of the rides and above some of the gift shops and stuff. There's not much to it.
I like this one. It's underrated. It's kind of chill. I would prefer this every single day of the week over It's a Small World. I like this one. Personally, I will give this one like a 3.
This ride's so great. Where's Ruben?
Yeah.
Oh, he's over there.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
I would give it a 3 too. Like, it's not, I'm not going out of my way to ride it, but if there's never a line. But I mean, if
There's no line.
yeah, no, I mean, like, if I've done everything else and I'm kind of having like a chill moment and I just want to hang out, like, it's a good one. People like to nap on this one. People like to nurse their kids on this one.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, our kids almost napped on this one, so
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'll give it a 3. It's cute. Have you ridden
I
this
haven't been
one?
on it. I'll give it a 3 too. It's cute.
Okay.
You know what? You'd like it. I think you would. Because you go through and you kind of see the inner workings of Space Mountain a little bit, so I think you would like that.
Here's what it is. You're chilling, you're riding, and it's the ride that you take to prep for your next ride. It's like I need to tap in to get something else. I'll tap in, and I'm just chilling while I'm,
Scrolling. And kind of, yeah.
TRON Lightcycle. TRON Lightcycle Run? Is that what the name is?
Yeah, TRON Lightcycle Run. This ride is a part dark ride.
This one's a banger.
Part coaster, like a launch coaster. It has a 48-inch height requirement, and you ride this like bicycle style vehicle, so it kind of like snaps shut on you from behind. This is a great ride.
Yeah, this one is amazing. Did you get onto this one, Ambrose?
No, last time I was at Disney World, it was still being built.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fair enough. It is really new, and it does get pretty long lines, or you could get the individual lightning lane for it, which is, again, pricey. But everything about it, from like the queue to like, when you see Tomorrowland and you're like, it was trying to be futuristic, but it failed and it's dated. TRON Lightcycle Run is everything Tomorrowland wants to be.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so futuristic. It's very cool. Like the way
So cool.
like the acrylic everywhere and the lighting, the blue lights and the orange lights, and the way they did the technology so that it looks like you're racing the other team, but it's really just you. And you're going through all the different like markers to try to like beat the team. It's really fast. It's really fun. I personally, like, I wasn't scared. I really enjoyed it, which was nice because I usually get scared, but, like, it was just a fun ride. I love this ride.
If you've ever ridden a motorbike before, you will love this one because you feel like you do when you are on a motorbike and the wind is through your hair, and it's just so much fun. For me, this ride had the potential of being the best ride Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida had to offer. If not for one thing, it is short.
Yeah.
It is a short ride. It is not very long, and that's the one thing that kind of sucks. So for me, this one gets an 8.5 as probably the best ride in Magic Kingdom.
Okay. 8.5. That's your top score.
That's my top score.
Okay, I think I would give it a 9, on par with Tiana, because I liked the thrill and I liked the experience, but the theming wasn't anything special in the sense of, like, I'm not a TRON fan, so I'll give it a 9.
Cool.
Ambrose.
I've never been on this ride.
But you've seen stuff. Like, don't act like you've never watched videos.
I've seen. Well, what's TRON? I'm too young for TRON. I'm not, but this is the remake, yeah. But so I think I would give it like maybe. It looks like a great ride. I've heard people say it's complaining about pain in the back afterwards a little bit. Dora's like,
That's
what a bunch of wimps.
Yeah, that's so dramatic. Pain in the back. What were you trying to sit upright?
Sure, I would say maybe like a 7.5 or 8. I haven't been on it. I wouldn't go high as. I'll do a 7.5. I wouldn't go 8 yet because I haven't been on it. So I would say a 7.5 because of theming, because of the ride itself, and I think it's one of the first few rides from a different park, like overseas park, they brought to like the United States.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so Under the Sea: Journey of the Little Mermaid. This is another
great ride.
I agree. This is another dark ride, Omnimover attraction. It's a slow moving ride, and there's no height requirement, so it's family friendly for everybody. And his theme to the Little Mermaid, Ariel and Ursula and Sebastian.
Who doesn't like Little Mermaid?
See, this one, I would give it a higher score, especially because I love the music. If not for one thing, it breaks down all the time.
It doesn't break down.
Every single time we wrote it broke down.
No, it's not breaking down.
It's stopping.
Yes, it's stopping because it's an omnimover. So with omnimover rides, because so many people can ride it, that they're stopping to get somebody with a wheelchair on and off, or somebody who's struggling to get on and off. And so they're going slow or stopping it so that they can accommodate everybody.
Then they need to do a better job, because I have sat in the middle of a ride and then Sebastian comes and be like, oh my gosh, we're waiting here. What's going on? Like,
he blames the sea witch Ursula.
Yeah.
He's like, it's all Ursula's fault.
For me,
Ruben's sitting there like, takes forever, and this old granny trying to get in. It's like, Ruben's is...
Yeah.
I will give it a 5 only because I like the music. Otherwise, it was going to be a 4 with Peter Pan.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I'm gonna put it on par with Winnie the Pooh, because I think that it's equivalent to that to me. I like the theming. I enjoy the ride. I love Ariel. I love the music. It's a dark style omnimover. It is what it is, dude. Like, you're so what if you're listening to Under the Sea for a little bit longer? At least it's a small world.
You're not. The lights come on. The immersive factor gets destroyed because it's no longer dark. They actually turn on the lights so that people can see what's going on, and then you have recording going. Like, I mean, it does pull you out of the ride. And in my opinion, if they could improve that, they would get a high mark. I'm just being real.
Sure. 6.5 for me. Go ahead, Ambrose. What about you?
I love this ride. Okay, this was my first, one of the first Disney rides that went on. Like, it encapsulates like Disney. When you go in, you're kind of on these seashells, and then the water, the lights and everything, and you go under the water. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I think it was. I'm not sure if one of the first ones, but yeah. Especially in Disney World, because I went to Disneyland recently. A lot of the dark rides there are very dated and old, like compared to like this one. Even though you have that ride in DCA, but like, I feel that this ride is actually really good. The seashells are in, the theming, the ride, the singing, the song, nostalgia, and everything. And I don't mind if it breaks. I can enjoy it a bit longer, And you look at animatronics, all different things, and it really makes you, like, it puts you in the world there. I think it makes you really feel like you're underwater. And Ruben, I'll fight you through this, and I'm going to give it an 8. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to give it 7.5. 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah. It's up there. I really enjoyed this ride. 7.5.
That's
You're so interesting, because
that's like one of the highest scores you gave.
But that's the thing. He's so interesting because he gave all the lesser rides higher scores. He was so generous with them.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but I really enjoy this ride, so 7.
Yeah. That's crazy.
No, okay. I didn't want to say 8. I didn't want to say 8.
Why not? If you loved it, you loved it.
Okay, fine. Fine. I actually was gonna give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because I really enjoyed the ride.
Yeah.
Theming and everything is so good.
Okay. Awesome. And then last one, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Have you ridden it, Ambrose?
Nope.
No, okay.
Any thoughts?
I blame Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Okay, so this is a slow ride, if you could call it that. It's one of those ones that I would borderline call it a show less than a ride, because all that really moves is just you kind of sit in one spot. They have a scene that comes on for 4 or 5 minutes, and then the theater moves slowly to the next scene, and then you see the next scene for 4 or 5 minutes, and that keeps happening for about 20 minutes. It's like a 20-minute ride. And it's talking about progress and history and technology, and I found it educational. I enjoyed the one song, the theme song that kind of plays throughout. It's a big, tomorrow. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. But it was boring. And it took so much time. And I wouldn't go ride
I knew something was wrong when you said educational.
Yeah.
No.
Let's go to Disney World, guys. I want to be educated.
If I wanted to, okay, so you learn some things, which is really cool. But it's not something that I'm going out of my way to experience. And I now know those things, so I don't need to relearn them. So I don't need to ride it again.
What's your score?
So I'm going to give it a 3.
That's so generous. This one needs to be changed. This one needs to go. It's getting a 0 for me. It's educational technology that is outdated. So great. Tell me about the tomorrow that's already happened. Tomorrow is past for us, and we need a new tomorrow. So yeah, new upgrade. I don't think Disney listens to this podcast, although they did take your idea about Cuscotopia with the water park. So maybe secretly they are. And if you are listening, Disney, I would encourage you, change this. You have the space, you have the money, and I think you could do something really cool with it. So that's me. Ambrose, last one here.
I love this ride so much, even though I've never been on it. I think it deserves a 10. I'm kidding. Sure, I give it a 3. I think it's from a bygone era of like a Disney ride stuff. I think they can change a bunch of things. Not that I'm against progress, but the idea is that I think that some things need to be updated, maybe the ride system or anything. Yeah, so I give it a 3.
Awesome.
So let's just like quickly look at our list and look at our top 3 rides.
Yeah. So coming in number 1 is TRON Lightcycle Run.
Yeah, with a
Hands
score
down.
of 25 out of 30. That is a high score.
Yeah. Oh, whoops, undid. Oh. Yeah, just want to highlight this one. So 25. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Followed by number 2, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, Pirates of the Caribbean is at what score? 23.5?
Yeah.
That's tied with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So first place is Tron. Tied for second place is Seven Dwarfs.
No.
And yeah, seven right here. Seven
Oh.
Dwarfs. Seven Dwarfs 23.5. Pirates 23.5.
Oh, wow. So we actually have more than a top 3 because our
Yeah.
third place is also a tie.
Without plan. We did not plan this out. Our third place is tied for Space Mountain, Tiana's Bayou.
For 22.5.
Yeah. And low key, like, I think Tiana's Bayou, I think once you ride it, the score is going to be equal. Like it's going to be balanced out a little bit more. But like, yeah, I think it's interesting that Buzz Lightyear, like, out of all these rides, Buzz Lightyear is not a crazy ride, but somehow it's up here at 21. Like,
Yeah, I mean, even Winnie the Pooh is pretty close, like 20.5. So, like, you can tell where our rankings are, that there are some, like, favorites that really did well. And then there's, like, you know, the Carousel, which got a 4, and Tomorrowland Speedway, which got a 3. So, kind of like the bottom of the barrel right there. So, easy for you to plan out your next Magic Kingdom day, prioritize the rides that are actually worthwhile, get the lightning lanes or individual lightning lanes if necessary, and skip the rides that are really not worth riding, or ride them as filler attractions and just enjoy AC or enjoy, you know, resting your feet a little bit if that's what you would like to do. But yeah, that is our ranking.
thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope this was helpful. Make sure to subscribe, like, you know, comment if you enjoy this content. You want more, you know, details like this. We have tons of content that we'd love to share. We talk about, you know, all things Disney, Universal, theme parks, travel, food, fun, like, just, you know, things that we'd love to do, we're going to talk about. So subscribe, like, comment, and we will
See you next time.
catch you in the next one.